Hi everyone, Glenda Mollet here from In My Craft Room, Stamping with Glenda. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is our March monthly Stamping Club card number 4. It's a bonus card. We usually only do 3, but because it's celebration, I decided to do a 4th one today. And this month is the last month for Celebration 2019, so I'm making the most out of the Lasting Lily stamp set. We did one already this month. It was a lovely fun fold that we did. This one is I cased it from my friend and fellow demonstrator Wendy Lee. Thanks, Wendy. It's a gorgeous card. So we're going to use the Lasting Lily stamp set today. This is one of the Celebration 2019 stamp sets that you can order for free with a minimum $120 order. And the For You comes from Beauty Abounds in the 2019 Occasions catalog. And for Coordination Celebration 2019, Stampin' Up! Brought out the Lily Framelit dies. Now this one doesn't have the lily cut out, but I thought I would put a cutout lily on top of that while we're stamping today because I can. So we're going to use Granny Apple Green, Berry Burst, and Memento on our card today. I'll just get those lined up so they're there ready for me. Get out the card kit, which I forgot to do, and I don't know which kit it is now, so just bear with me for a sec. My apologies. I should have got this out. I got everything else out ready for us. And of course it would be the last one that I look at. Here we are. Okay, so we're going to use a piece of vellum today. Here's the pieces that we're going to use. Here's the recipe for it, and there's credit given to Wendy Lee. It's her lovely card. Thick Whisper White, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and 4 1/4 and folded in half. So that's that piece. Then there's a piece of Berry Burst, 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. A piece of vellum, 2.5 by 4 3/4. A piece of Whisper White, 2.5 by 4. And a piece of Whisper White, 5/8 of an inch by 2 5/8 for the sentiment. And I have a scrap piece of paper here, Whisper White, that I'm going to stamp the extra lily on and die cut it out. And then piece of Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. So there's all of our pieces. And here's our card. I'll put it over here so you can see it. And while you're looking at it, I'm just going to make sure on my computer that everything is oriented properly. So please, there we are. Yep, looking good. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is, there's the card base, and then we're going to layer the piece of Berry Burst onto the front and center it, and then the vellum goes over top like that, and then after we stamp the white one, it's going to layer on there like that. So when you're attaching vellum, you have to be careful because you can see the adhesive through vellum, so we'll put the adhesive underneath where the white piece is going to layer on top of it. Let's get some adhesive on my Berry Burst layer and center it on the card front. There we go. Now the vellum is going to go here, and you could put this wherever you wanted. You could even put it this way. You'd have to cut it down a bit, but we're going to put it right there. I'm just going to put a a little bit of adhesive on there. Now I'm not going to push it down too hard because I want to make sure that it's going to be hidden. Yes, it is. Okay. And I'm just going to put another couple of little pieces here just so it doesn't fall apart on me. And going to center it up and down and about a 1/4 of an inch from the edge. There we go. See how you can see the adhesive through the vellum? But once we stamp our white piece and put it on, it'll be invisible. So there, we've got that put together. So now we're going to stamp the front. This is the piece for the front. And we'll stamp the lily first. And this is one of our new distinctive stamps. And oh my, they are spectacular. I just love this stamp. I don't know what I'm going to do when it celebration is over and the stamp set goes away, because I love it. And I'm just rubbing it to transfer the ink onto the cardstock. There, look, just look at the detail in that. I know I did this in the last video I did too, but just look at that. Look at the detail. Oh. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to take my spare piece and I'm going to stamp another one, because this is the one I'm going to cut out with the dies. And I've got my big shot off to the side all ready to go. There we are. So let's put that to the side till I finish stamping everything. So the inside looks like that. So I'm going to get that piece. I always put an X in the bottom corner of my inside piece. So I was just looking to make sure that I didn't have the X facing up, because sometimes that happens. Which is not a big deal because it's in pencil and I'll just have to put the eraser on. Okay, need my spare piece of paper underneath here. Save my grid paper. And I'm going to do 2 of them. There's one. Now is this in... Oh, this is in frame for you guys. And then we'll put another one up here. Here we are. And the envelope. The envelope looks basically the same as the inside piece. So let's get that. And I think I'm just going to put one on this envelope. There we are. Seems I have something. You see that there? That's not that round circle. That's not supposed to be there. Apparently I had something on my stamp. But that's okay. Nobody's going to know except you guys. So if you watched my last video, you saw how I showed you how to open these. You can pull it open like this. But if you just take your thumbs right up at the top and push, oops, did you see that? It was talking and running away. Just push, it pops right open. I can't remember where I saw that. It was somewhere on the internet. Somebody shared it. Thank you very much, whoever you are. All right, I'm going to put the stem on the envelope. I'm going to put the 2 stems on the inside. Look at how easy it is to line these up. They just, such a cool stamp set. There we are, see? And this is the one with the leaf. This is the one that fits the small flower. And now I'm going to get this is the front piece. And this is the stem that fits the big flower. It doesn't have a leaf. It has there's a separate leaf that we stamp. You just make sure that you go up far enough so that you don't have a hanging flower. Oh, appears I have some adhesive on my block. There we go. And now this This leaf can be used so many ways because I'll just show you here. Let me put it back on the block. You can use it this way so that it comes up and cricks off to the side, or you can use it this way so that you just have a straight leaf, or you can take it and straighten it out and have it straight up and down. Isn't that cool? Very versatile stamp set, this one. Okay, so we're going to use the leaf both ways. See, I've got it up there and there as well. So I'm going to put it right about there. And then turn it over and ink it up again and have one coming out there. There we go. Perfecto. See how quick and easy this card is? Now, sentiment. Sentiment piece. Memento ink. For you stamp. Now this is a harder fabric ink pad, so I find if you do the drop and wiggle, you get nice ink coverage on there. And I'm just going to put it somewhere in the middle and hopefully straight. Not bad, not bad. Okay, now this one, do you see how I've angled the edge of it just for a little bit of interest? So I'll get my scissors and I'm going to do that on this one. I'm just following the line of the F there and cut that off, and then I'll cut it off once I get it onto here. I need to put some dimensionals on there. And make sure, yep, I think I'll just move this dimensional over a bit so that I can cut that off a little bit. I don't want it quite so long. Okay, I'm just going to cut off a little bit. All right, card base. This upside down, and I haven't cut the one out for the layer on top, but that's okay because that could be the last thing I do. And we're just going to layer that on there like that and pull the backing off of the dimensionals. And put that on there like that. Now that could be the card done. That would be very pretty. But now we have the dies. So I'm going to take the die for the big flower. This out of the way. Have my magnetic pad and the flower and the die, and line it up. Oops, not quite. Need to lift it just a tad. I find when you're doing this, the longer you take to line it up, the better the result is going to be. So don't be rushing. Okay, I'm just going to cut this off camera so I don't wiggle you guys and give you motion sickness. So bear with me for 2 seconds, please. I'll be right back. My table is not secure enough to be able to cut on it. So there we are. Look at how easy that was. Look. Not pretty. Now this is the one I'm doing, right? Yep. Got mixed up. So there, we're just going to lay that on there and pop it up with some dimensionals. Just a few. Don't want to get too carried away. There we are. See how pretty that is? How cool is that? I think I need another dimensional on there. Can never have too many dimensionals. Well, I guess you can. I remember I went to Las Vegas one year. They had a creative expo down there with scrapbooking and card making and a whole bunch of techniques and stuff. And one lady was doing a make and take, and she had kits that we could create the card that she was making, and she used dimensionals on the back of the image. And one lady sat down to make the card and took the package of dimensionals and went all the way around the outside. They were touching each other, they were so close. And then she went all the way on the inside too. So on something this big, she probably would have used 20 or 25 dimensionals. And the lady was very good. She never said a word. She just, the instructor, she just let the lady that was making her card do it the way she wanted to do it, and never said a word. And then after the lady left, she said to the rest of us, "You don't need quite that many dimensionals." I thought it was funny, and it stuck with me all these years. Okay, we're just going to pop the inside in. Now this one, I didn't put, didn't use my marker around the inside, but I think I'm going to on this one, just so that you can see the difference. So this is just the Berry Burst Stampin' Right marker. You can't use the blends for this because they're built so that they bleed into the cardstock, and I don't like the effect. I would rather have this. But then I'm OCD and I like things crisp. But if you would like to do this with the Stampin' Blends, go ahead. See how I'm holding this sturdy, and I'm holding my marker this way. I'm not holding it this way because then you have a tendency to do this and you'll get it all over your card stock where you don't want it. So by doing it this way, you have a lot of control over where you put it. So put the lid back on. I already put the adhesive on the back, so we'll just pop this into the inside of the card. And see, it just gives it a little bit of definition inside there. So there's the one I used the marker on, and there's the one without the marker. There's not that much difference, but there is a bit of a difference. And I like it. I do this quite often, but every once in a while I decide I don't need to. So there we are. There's our card, the bonus card from my March Club people. There's the original one, and it's just flat. And then here's the one I popped I cut out the lily again with the dies and popped it up on dimensionals. And you can see it gives it a bit of dimension there. How cool is that? So if you're club members, use the club host code, please, if you're planning on doing an online order. If you are not part of my club and you'd like to place an order, I'd be pleased if you use the current host code. You can find it on my Facebook page, in my craft room, Stamping with Glenda. Or you can email your orders to me at gjmollet@shaw.ca. I'd always love to answer any questions, and I love comments too. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Stampin' smiles to everyone. Bye for now.